You tell yourself you're just driven, ambitious, a hard worker. But somewhere underneath that, there's a quieter truth. As long as you're busy, you don't have to feel anything. The inbox never empties. The to-do list never ends. There's always one more email, one more project, one more thing that just needs to get done first. And for some people, that's not bad luck. That's the entire point. This isn't about people who love their jobs. Loving your work is fine. This is about people who use work as an emotional exit, a place to disappear to whenever real life gets too loud. The person who takes on a new project the second something painful happens at home. The one who can't relax on a Sunday because stillness feels unbearable. The one who measures their worth by output, not by how they feel. The one who gets a promotion, a burnout, and a breakup in the same year, and responds by booking more meetings. The one whose calendar is back to back the week after a funeral, because keeping busy helps. From the outside, this looks like ambition, discipline, maybe even inspiring. Coworkers admire it, managers reward it, family members brag about it at dinner. From the inside, it's something else entirely. It's avoidance, dressed up in a blazer, carrying a laptop bag. Picture someone, let's call her Maya. Maya's mother gets a serious diagnosis. Most people, understandably, would fall apart a little. Maya doesn't. Maya reorganizes her entire team's workflow that same week. She takes on 2 extra clients. She starts answering emails at 11 p.m. Everyone tells her she's handling it so well. But Maya isn't handling it. She's outrunning it. The busier she stays, the less time there is to sit with the fact that her mother might not be okay. And that she isn't okay either. The work isn't a distraction from the grief. The work is the coping mechanism. It's just one that nobody questions because it looks productive instead of destructive. That's the trap. This pattern rarely gets challenged because it never looks like a problem until it collapses. Overworking as avoidance usually isn't random. It's learned, often early, often quietly. Maybe you grew up in a house where emotions weren't safe to show. Crying got you ignored. Anger got you punished or mocked. But bringing home a good report card, winning an award, finishing a project, that got you attention, approval, maybe even the only warmth you consistently got. So your nervous system made a trade without you ever agreeing to it out loud. Feelings are dangerous. Output is safe. Or maybe it wasn't childhood at all. Maybe there was a specific period in your adult life, a loss, a divorce, a diagnosis, a failure, where feeling the full weight of it felt like it might break you completely. So you didn't feel it. You worked instead. And it worked. The pain got quieter. The panic got manageable. So your brain filed that away as the solution. When it gets unbearable, produce something. The problem is, the brain doesn't file this away as temporary survival strategy, use only in emergencies. It files it away as, this is simply how we cope now, and starts reaching for it automatically, for smaller and smaller amounts of discomfort, until almost any uncomfortable feeling gets met with another task instead of an actual response. Work is one of the only forms of avoidance society actively rewards. You can't overwork in front of people and get told to slow down. You get told you're impressive, dedicated, going places. Nobody stages an intervention for someone who's just really committed to their career. Nobody sits them down and says, I'm worried about you, the way they might for someone drinking too much or disappearing for days. That's exactly what makes this pattern so hard to catch, in yourself or in anyone else. Numbing with alcohol gets noticed and named. Numbing with a 70-hour work week gets a performance review and a raise. But the feelings being outrun don't just evaporate because they've been ignored. They wait. They usually resurface later, and often somewhere much less convenient. A health crisis that finally forces stillness. A breakdown after retirement, when the busyness disappears overnight, a sudden collapse when a big project ends and there's nothing left standing between the person and everything they postponed feeling. A few quiet signals this pattern might apply to you. Rest makes you anxious instead of relaxed. A free afternoon feels like a threat, not a gift. You feel most like yourself only when you're producing something. You've used a deadline, consciously or not, to avoid a difficult conversation. Vacations feel harder to get through than work weeks. You can describe your job in detail, project by project, but go blank or vague when someone asks how you're actually doing. None of these mean something is fundamentally wrong with you. They mean your nervous system found a strategy that used to work, and it hasn't been reevaluated in a very long time. The advice, just work less, almost always fails here, because it doesn't address the function the work is serving. Taking away the coping mechanism without replacing it just leaves the original feeling standing there, unaddressed, louder than before. A few things that actually help instead. 1. Name the exchange in the moment. Next time you catch yourself reaching for another task, right as something uncomfortable surfaces, just notice it plainly. I'm doing this so I don't have to feel that. Naming it doesn't fix it instantly, but it breaks the autopilot, even briefly. 2. Practice small stillness, not total stillness. Nobody builds tolerance for quiet by attempting a silent retreat on day 1. Start with 5 unstructured minutes. No phone, no task, no plan. Let it feel uncomfortable. That discomfort is the point. It's the muscle being rebuilt. 3. Ask what the feeling actually is, underneath the busyness. It's rarely just vague unease. It's usually something specific: grief, fear, loneliness, anger, shame. Naming the actual feeling tends to shrink it. Vague dread is enormous. I'm afraid I'm not enough without achievement is at least something you can work with. 4. Let productivity become a choice again, instead of an escape hatch. Ambition itself isn't the problem. The real question is simpler than it sounds. Could you stop working right now and sit with whatever's there? Or do you need to keep moving so you never actually find out? Overworking looks like strength. Sometimes it genuinely is. But sometimes it's just a very well-dressed way of running from something you haven't let yourself feel yet. You don't have to earn the right to rest, and you don't have to stay busy to be worthy of the life you're supposedly building. If any part of this hit close to home, try sitting with that for a second, instead of immediately reaching for the next task to make the feeling go away.